Hello everyone, we are Group G and today we'll be exploring one of the most debated topics in modern agriculture, the rise and regulation of glyphosate or known as Roundup. Glyphosate is the world's most widely used herbicide but is also at the center of a global controversy involving health, the environment and the law. Let's dive in. So, before we start, let I introduce myself first and my friend. My name is Winnie Ruloan Antonio and my partner presenter is Pengiran Kushairi Rahmuni. So let's start. This is the lesson outline that we're gonna look in this video. There are 8 lesson outline. First is introduction to glyphosate. Second is scientific controversy. Third is case studies. Fourth is regulatory responses around the world. Fifth is environmental and health concerns. Sixth is public perception and industrial response. Seventh is conclusion and lastly is references.
Okay, so hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about glyphosate, which is a chemical used in farming to kill weeds. It's very common but also very controversial. I will explain where it came from and how different countries deal with it. Glyphosate is the key ingredient in Monsanto Roundup, the most widely used pesticide in the US. Each year, more than 200 million pounds of glyphosate are sprayed.
Scientific controversy. The controversy over glyphosate or Roundup is a major issue in pesticide regulation. It really took off in 2015 when International Agency for Research on Cancer, under the World Health Organization, classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans, Group 2A. This was based on animal studies showing increased cancer risk and limited evidence from human studies, especially non-Hodgkin lymphoma. However, major regulatory bodies like the US Environmental Protection Agency in 2020 and the European Food Safety Authority since 2015 concluded that glyphosate is not likely to be carcinogenic to humans at the approved exposure level. This difference exists because IARC focuses on whether glyphosate can cause cancer under any circumstances, while agencies like the EPA and EFSA assess whether it is likely to cause cancer under real-world typical use. The controversy is ongoing, with new studies and reviews regularly emerging. There is also a big controversy about how these decisions are made. Critics argue that EPA or EFSA rely too much on studies funded by industry and have ignored independent research. This has led to lawsuits, protests, and a lot of media attention around the world. In Malaysia, glyphosate is still allowed for use in agriculture, and the Department of Agriculture follows international guidelines while continuing to monitor new research and safety reviews. There are 2 case studies that we're gonna look. First is landmark lawsuits against Monsanto or Bayer. Second is glyphosate residues in food. So let's look at a landmark case that brought global attention to glyphosate. In 2018, a California jury awarded Dewan Johnson, a school groundskeeper, $289 million after he developed non-Hodgkin lymphoma following years of using Roundup. The jury found Monsanto liable for failing to warn users about cancer risks. This verdict led to a surge in lawsuits. By 2025, Bayer, which now owns Monsanto, has paid over $11 billion to settle around 100,000 lawsuits in the United States, with more cases ongoing. So now, we go to the second case. Multiple studies have shown that glyphosate residues are frequently found in common foods, such as cereal, soybeans, and honey. For example, a 2014 study by Rubio and colleagues detected glyphosate in a significant number of honey, corn, and soy products from the US and Europe. The US FDA's 2023 monitoring program also reported glyphosate residues in several grain and processed food samples, though most were below the legal safety limits. Despite this, public concern remains high, especially about possible health risks from long-term, low-level exposure. Advanced analytical techniques like liquid chromatography, tandem mass spectrometry, are used to detect glyphosate and its metabolites. In Malaysia, glyphosate is commonly used in oil palm, rubber, and fruit plantation. So far, there are no major lawsuits, but the authorities keep a close watch on international developments.
So, glyphosate was first made in 1950 by a Swiss chemist named Henry Martin. He worked for a company called Glyphosate and was looking for new medicines. At first, glyphosate was tested for medical use, but it didn't work. So they stopped studying it. But later in 1970, a scientist named John E. France at Monsanto found that glyphosate could kill plants. He and his team tested many chemicals, around over 100, and the third one, which was glyphosate, worked really well. It became the main ingredient in a weed killer called Roundup, which is still used today. Okay, for this glyphosate, some countries restrict and some countries still allow it. For some countries that have banned this usage is Mexico, Vietnam, Germany, India. Countries that ban these pesticides is because of first, health risk. Some research says glyphosate may cause cancer. Second is because of environmental harm. It could hurt soil, water, and important insects like bee. And the third one is safety first. Some government prefers ban it first and then study it more later, just to be safe, just to play it safe. And some countries are still allowed these pesticides, such as France, USA, Canada, and the European Union. It is because they think that their scientists said it's safe for use if it is improper. Second is it helps farmers control weed easily and cheaply. Third one is a ban might cause higher costs and lower crop production, which can affect food supply.
Next, we're gonna look to the environmental and health concerns. Environmentally, glyphosate is less persistent than older chemicals like DDT, but it still poses several concerns. Studies show glyphosate can contaminate soil and water, harm aquatic organisms, and disrupt beneficial soil microbes. It can also contribute to the rise of glyphosate-resistant superweeds. Some research links glyphosate to health risks, such as cancer, hormone disruption, and organ toxicity, although scientific opinions are mixed. In Malaysia, there are ongoing concerns about glyphosate contaminating rivers and affecting aquatic life, especially in plantation areas. To minimize risk, the government promotes safe handling and proper application of glyphosate. Last but not least, public perception and industry response. First, public perception. Public concern over glyphosate has grown sharply, especially after the IARC classified it as probably carcinogenic and high-profile lawsuits against Monsanto and Bayer made headlines. Protests, documentaries, and widespread media coverage have fueled skepticism, with some countries banning or restricting glyphosate. Many consumers now seek glyphosate-free products, and retailers in some countries have responded by limiting sales. In Malaysia, debate continues among farmers, scientists, and the public, but overall awareness about potential risks is increasing. Second, industry response. In response, Bayer continues to defend glyphosate safety, citing regulatory approvals worldwide. The company announced it will phase out glyphosate from residential use products in the US by 2023, though agriculture use continues. In Malaysia, many farmers rely on glyphosate for its effectiveness and affordability. The government and industry provide education on safe use, and authorities monitor new research and global developments.
So here, I would like to conclude that glyphosate is a powerful herbicide used in farming to control weeds. Second, it helps increase crop yields but raises concerns about health risks and environmental harm. Third, some countries has banned it while others still allow it. Scientists and the public are divided on whether it's truly safe or not. So, for the future outlook, more research is needed to confirm its safety. Safer alternatives like natural herbicides and smart farming tools may be used in the future. Government may create stricter laws about it. The future of glyphosate depends on science, public opinion, and global action.
So, that's all from us. Thank you for watching.